Step into the ring.
I'm Connor Richards. I'm from St. John's University. I'm majoring in sports management, and I'm a member of the FIFA team.
My name is Daniel Polishuk. I'm a freshman at St. John's University, majoring in sport management, and I'm on the FIFA Esports team.
Hello, my name is Tom Stanowski. I'm from DePaul University, majoring in computer science, and I will be playing with the Overwatch team.
Hello, my name is Jacob Ahrens. I am the president of Niagara University Esports. I'm a junior here at Niagara, studying computer information sciences as well as history, and I am the captain of the League of Legends team.
I'm George Hill. I'm a senior here at NU, and I'm captain of our Smash team.
Hi everyone, my name is Tyler McNair. I'm a senior at Niagara University studying education, and I think we at Niagara University are excited to participate in the Vincentian Cup just because it's a unique opportunity to foster those positive relationships with our fellow Vincentian schools and compete in a fun environment.
I'm excited for us to compete because this is an event that I think can draw a lot of excitement and really build a following with our student body and other fans of esports locally.
I'm excited for our university to be a part of the Vincentian Cup because not only are these showdowns where school spirit shines the most, but it's also quite an exclusive opportunity that is streamed, that people are able to rally behind and support each other.
To me, the Vincentian mission is all about giving back to the community, giving back to people who may not be in the greatest position of success and making sure that they have the chance to do so. It means always thinking about others.
To me, the Vincentian mission, it's all about bettering the community you live in and bettering communities that are around you. And I think that helping the less fortunate is one of the most rewarding things you can do as a person, and it just makes the world a better place.
Within our esports team, our tagline is "Good luck, have fun, be Vincentian." And of course, this could mean a lot of things, but personally for me, it means that with competitive esports comes a lot of frustration and also a lot of learning. And I think it's important for teams to retain a positive mental attitude rather than turning towards toxicity.
I think esports at Niagara has given students another opportunity to connect with the community.
I see the mission show up for our team just because, especially what St. John's calls the spirit of compassionate concern for others, being a part of a team and a program like this, you see that there's a sense of community and everyone has each other's back.
I think we're excited to participate in the event with the other Vincentian universities because video games just provides that fun and competitive environment where like-minded people can show off their hard work and dedication that they've put into their games this year.
I'm excited to participate in this event with other Vincentian universities because, like I said before, all of us are able to do something we collectively enjoy, which is playing video games, and we're able to meet people who share those common interests from across the country, while coming together to honor St. Vincent's legacy by contributing to the community, which is something that all our schools truly embody.
I think one of the most significant parts of St. Vincent de Paul's mission that's resonated with me is helping those who are less fortunate. Every semester at Niagara University, we really try to put in the effort through service projects in our clubs and things to really give back to the community.
I think the 5 Vincentian virtues such as clarity and purpose are really key as it leads and gives people directions in their lives.
Welcome everyone. Big spike Oreo. They have really hard skin.
DePaul University. Here, we do what others don't, dream what others won't. A diverse community possessed with a passion to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. DePaul University. Here, we do.
What is going on, guys, gals, and other pals? I am Septilence, here with Devin3000 to bring you the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Grand Finals between St. John's University and DePaul University.
What up, guys? How you doing? Yeah, this is going to be a pretty fun matchup because we already saw how intense things got on Wednesday between these two. So I'm really excited to see how they do. We're going to be starting off with Mr. Saturn versus, I believe, Bobby Time, which means I forget who Mr. Saturn plays, but Bobby Time was a really sick Pokemon trainer that we saw.
Yeah, Bobby Time giving us one of, I believe, the 2-3 stocks we saw in the last matchup between St. John's University and DePaul. I don't know if it was St. John's, but Bobby Time was able to pick up a 3 stock, a very aggressive one onto the Luigi player, Tev.
Yeah.
And that was something that was just spectacular, very well executed. And even then, I was talking about how impressive Bobby Time really is because they've got such a strong understanding of not one or two, but all 3 of the Pokemon necessary to be playing Pokemon Trainer.
100%. Yeah, the Tev was from Niagara, so you know what? I don't think we saw Bobby versus St. John's because the first time DePaul, when DePaul was fighting St. John's, they had a different lineup. They had 2 different players, Bobby Time and one other. Weren't present during their match versus St. John's. So this actually is a different match. So that's actually really sick. And so, yeah, we're going to be starting off with Link versus Pokemon Trainer.
Oh. Mr. Saturn on the Link, definitely going to be an unusual pick, but maybe one that'll work out in the end. The projectiles are definitely going to be handy to prevent at least Ivysaur from getting close, but Squirtle, I mean, it's just so fast.
Yeah, so, like, the way Link works is that his nair is really fast, and he can really like keep you out because of it. But it's kind of like unintuitively fast, where it actually comes out on like frame 7, but has a very, very low cooldown. So like once he's got it out, you have to respect it. But here we go. Bobby Time going to find an in, gets a small combo, nothing too large. Wasn't able to extend it on the platform. Got some even percentages going on right now.
Bobby Time definitely able to pick up off the back of this. Things looking a little bit rough, but definitely able to turn it around. Now swapping to somebody a little bit heavier, can tank a little bit more damage. Squirtle notoriously light. Maybe not Game & Watch light, but pretty light up into that point. Now we see able to hit that down air through the platform, going to be huge, but the up smash coming out from Mr. Saturn underneath with the up B coming out, trying to find that combo off. The arrow is going to miss, and now Bobby Time 109%. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Charizard rear his head soon.
Yeah, and was able to retake center and knock him up and start a juggle situation, which ended into this edge guard. Ooh, tries to punish the normal get up. Slightly mistimed, and that's going to pay him to the other side of the stage. Here we go.
Yeah, Bobby Time. Yeah, even percent and Bobby Time taking full advantage of these platforms on stage. We've seen a down air through the platforms 3 times, and that's not necessarily a huge tech or a crazy move, but one that's really starting to dump in the damage. And now we see, oh, Mr. Saturn to their own bomb.
So you actually know what happens there was that the bomb detonated because of Charizard's flames. So the first time it hit, it hit the hitbox of it, and then after the hitbox was gone, the flames could just hit it, and that caused it to detonate, taking his stock. Really great awareness. Ooh,
absolutely.
That man trying to end it right then and there.
Yeah, Bobby Time definitely looking for these cheeky, just trying to punish that natural get-up, the normal get-up, and it's not working out quite yet. A couple frames off, it seems. But, I mean, just great execution of this Charizard so far, which is arguably the most important character to have an understanding of when you play Pokemon Trainer, simply because of the amount of damage that this Pokemon is able to take.
Yeah, when you're able to, like, move around with such a tanky character and, you know, still be able to secure the win condition, that being taking stocks, it's such a valuable thing. And there we go. Now, Mr. Saturn going to be evening up the stocks here. At a bit of a deficit, but 83% is nothing like too solid. Just means that you're in the losing position. If you're able to take your turn and push some advantage, you'll be able to even up. But Bobby going for those heavy hits. Not taking it off the top.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about this earlier, and I could not agree more. I know you love Pokemon Trainer, and I love to watch Pokemon Trainer, and I almost wish we could just watch Bobby Time play all day, because this kid is incredible.
Yeah, so now we have a full stock lead. This is a really good position for Bobby Time. Mr. Saturn's going to have to work double time if he wants to make back on this game. At the very least, he's got to work really hard to take this stock to try and, you know, minimize any sort of damage for his team. But, you know, Link is a very strong character. He hits basically as hard as heavies, you know, with up air, forward smash, fit air, and just like bomb setups.
Yeah, most definitely. Link, yeah, definitely a heavy damage dealer. He can't necessarily take as much, but compared to these heavy hitters, Link is a force to be reckoned with. And if you give him the opportunity, if you give him, nope, there it is. Just the natural get-up punish every time, and third time's the charm. It finally comes through. Mr. Saturn ends up losing that first game due to just only choosing one recovery method.
Yeah, I honestly, like, the best thing that you can go for, like, on the ledge, like, more times than not, because every situation will be different, but jumping from ledge will normally be, like, one of the safer things you can do, and, like, it just puts, like, can you still get technically hit by Ivysaur forward smash in that situation? Absolutely, but does it make the window for it much smaller? Yeah, much smaller. So you just get to, like, minimize those risks, you know, because, like, a lot of the times normal getup will be used a little bit as, like, a bit of a crutch because you have so much intangibility on your getup. And it's just like, oh, you know, he'll miss the kill because he'll let it go too early or a little bit too late. But here we just see, you know, all you need to do is get it right once, and there we have it.
Absolutely, the one time was all that Bobby Time needed, and you see Bobby Time, I mean, already going to be in the ring here, just waiting, because they're not going to swap off Pokemon Trainer, especially after a performance like that. This player, incredibly consistent, if anything, and it's really going to give Mr. Saturn a run for their money here.
So we see some interesting bans from Bobby Time being Smashville and Kalos, which is going to result us going to town. So one of the reasons I can see behind getting rid of like Kalos is that while Link, not like a super heavy character, can live quite long. Actually, you know what? Forget all of that. We're going Pit. But I could still see that being Bobby's reasoning, assuming that he was going to stay Link. So we're going to Town and City. This matchup can be a little bit interesting because Pit's moves can come out fairly quickly. You kind of need to like block versus this character. You need to bait him to swing so that you can punish him.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you definitely need to get things coming out of Pit here, and you need to make sure you don't necessarily get into his hit zone and then stay there, because Pit will take full advantage of the fact that you're in swinging range. But right now, Bobby Time only taking 6%, we see Mr.
Nice.
Saturn up to already 50%. A fantastic combo. There's not a lot of knockback, and there's not a lot of damage unless you do it a few times, but Bobby Time already up to that 55% mark, looking at least decent here.
Yeah, and we're already seeing just great work with Squirtle. Honestly, I believe in this matchup we're going to see a little bit more of Squirtle than Ivysaur, potentially, just because Pit's a much faster character, and one of Ivysaur's weaknesses is being rushed down. He has like very slow moves, and Squirtle is able to keep up the pace with anybody, and like the character like can hit hard if he's able to make the windows for it. If we see a jab lock situation, forward smash will kill. Honestly, 30% to go at the ledge. So we're already well in that position, and we're seeing that he's sticking to it. We might see a swap now, which we do. Awesome. Run off fair on the ledge.
Yeah, we're gonna see the swap come out now. Ivysaur, I agree. Ivysaur not maybe the best call here. It's gonna be hard to find that damage, but you know, you stay that close as we just saw, and Mr. Saturn can't really react. It doesn't matter how fast Bobby Time is, as long as Bobby Time's continuously juggling Mr. Saturn, which is what we've seen up to this point.
Yeah, he found the window in with the early hit on the Razor Leaf, which lets him combo to up air, and that took him off the top. And then you saw after he took the stock, immediately back to Squirtle. He knows he's got to get that quick low damage. Even if Squirtle's at this high percent, he's not going to be too worried. But once he entered the triple digit, he went, okay, let me get a little bit chunkier, let me get a little heavier.
Yeah, absolutely. Squirtle at triple digits is pretty terrifying. You're about one sneeze away from throwing yourself off the map or being killed. So swapping to Ivysaur, getting a little bit heavier and dealing a little bit more damage along the way. Just a happy coincidence there, but no, we're gonna find it off the side of the map. Mr. Saturn, that's gonna be a kill confirm. It's gonna be 2-2 stocks, a 67% lead for Bobby Time.
Yeah, and as we saw, like the way he lost that stock was he whiffed the grab, and that was where he was able to capitalize. You know. Ivysaur with a very slow grab. It's 14 frames, and grabs have like a lot of cooldown as well. So able to even it up. Mr. Saturn not too far behind, really just like one turn.
Yeah, that was a great way to put that. Mr. Saturn really not far behind, just pretty much a turn behind, a combo behind. Taking the lead a single time would pretty much tie up this percent, but so far, that's really what Mr. Saturn struggled to do the most. They find some damage here and there, but we have yet to see anything consistent coming out from this player.
Yeah, Bobby's pressure has just been unrelenting. Oh man, he rolled toward the ledge so he could get a back throw, and that would have definitely taken the stock with the ledge to blast zone ratio. And going Charizard forward throw might do it, and it does. Is he going to switch off? No, he's going to maybe just stick with Charizard, see what he can do with it. Charizard, while not like a combo machine, he can get some pretty like good like 1-2s in, and the damage can go up real fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Charizard doesn't necessarily get great combos, but he definitely gets great damage. The character just hits very hard, and Mr. Saturn, similar to the Ivysaur situation, Charizard's even a little bit slower than Ivysaur, so we see maybe Mr. Saturn gets to take even more advantage of that fact, but I think Bobby Time gives them even a second to breathe, because we've seen Bobby Time in the driver's seat since this match started.
Okay. So, yeah, and like one of the options for like saying Charizard this, he was like, I'm already at relatively high percent, so any damage I get with this stock lead is just going to be beautiful extra credit for my next stock, if you're even able to take it against this monster. Charizard already at 150%. You need to take the stock, Saturn. You need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Saturn needs to make the score as low as possible here, and it looks like they're really struggling to do that. 173% though. You really don't get much higher than that, even with Charizard. So yeah, that elimination gonna come through very early on. So Mr. Saturn definitely still not in the lead, but now his stock's tied up, and they're really not that far behind. This seems like it could be doable.
Absolutely, but Bobby already with stage center. You know, he's keeping control. He's calling the shots here. Right now we need to see Saturn like kind of, please.
Oh no.
All right, got a 1 stock for Bobby on that game 2, and that's going to be the first set. So DePaul University is going to already be starting off with 5 points. And let's get some of those replays. I didn't get all of them because I got a little distracted by commentary. My apologies.
Yeah, no, definitely not a good look so far for St. John's, but it's only game 1, and Mr. Saturn, not necessarily notorious for winning their matchups, and that's something that is just, when it comes down to it, Bobby Time in the Vincentian Cup has not dropped a match on stream, and, that's, I think, the 3rd time that Mr. Saturn has lost, so that just goes down to which one of these players is perhaps a little more consistent in their play style, and that, of course, is Bobby Time.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, this could be a little bit of a repeat in the style of what we saw happen on Wednesday, where DePaul had a really strong start. This might end up biting them by starting off with such a strong player as Bobby Time, maybe further down the line in their roster. But I mean, the team overall is very strong. So, I'm hoping for just a good match from both of these schools.
Yeah.
I wish we could see more of Bobby Time, but he's done his work. He's hanging up the controller. He's gonna go have a nice breakfast or lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby Time, yeah, I talked about that already. You touched on it as well. Phenomenal job. Just all things considered, a great job today, and something that you don't see very often to come from a Pokemon trainer. But no, Bobby Time really did a phenomenal job. And you touched on this briefly as well. I want to mention it as well, that DePaul, I mean, they're just a powerhouse of an esports program.
Yeah.
Their Smash team, phenomenal. Overwatch team, phenomenal. Their Rocket League team, phenomenal. Like, DePaul as a whole very clearly has the players and have the skill, and they know that and run with it. And they just do a phenomenal job every time.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to see schools that, like DePaul, do such good work. I come from the New York City scene, so, I'm a little bit familiar with the St. John's players. NYU, St. John's, there's some pretty healthy Smash scenes there. So I'm always happy to see other schools also have that passion and have that drive to just really push the game and just keep the community just alive and kicking. Bobby, next time you're in Tri-State, come down to Xeno when COVID's over. Anyway, so right now we're just going to be waiting to hear from both DePaul and St. John's captains of who is going to be setting up next. Right now it's currently laid out to be J-Grunt versus Icaro, but I'm not 100% certain that that's what it's going to be. I'm going to give him a little ping.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we saw that matchup already on Wednesday, right?
Let me check the scorecard from that.
I feel like we saw J-Grunt versus Icaro, and even if we didn't, I know that Icaro ended up losing their match on stream last week.
So here's where the confusion is. It wasn't J-Grunt, but J-Grunt's brother, Mr. L versus Icaro.
Oh, yes. Okay. I was close, but
yes.
not quite what we're looking for.
But yeah, so then, that was, I forget who Icaro played, but I know Mr. L was playing Pikachu. Okay, so next up is actually going to be Fitco, their captain, versus Icaro. Very fun. Doesn't Fitco also play Pika? I think so.
Fitco does bring out Pikachu, and Fitco and Mr. L, the two Pikachu players of the Vincentian Cup, at least from what I've noticed. Fitco, though, notorious, has not won a game on stream yet. Icaro, I don't think has either, but I know that Fitco has played a couple more games. So both these players, maybe not necessarily the faces of these Smash teams, maybe not necessarily the best players, but of course, it all comes down to it today, which one of these teams can perform a little bit better, who wants it a little bit more, and between Fitco and Icaro, I think it could really be quite the match.
Absolutely. Do you remember who Icaro played, or?
My brain tells me a swordsman, but I don't know if that's correct. I don't think it is.
That's a pretty safe guess in this game.
I mean, the odds feel pretty high that it's probably going to be a swordsman, but
yeah, okay, we'll just have to wait and find out. But yeah, Fitco, playing Pikachu. Pikachu's, a very good character, very agile, very small. So because of his small stature, he's very hard to hit. You're not going to see too much too much like things like changing drastically from game to game as per stage counter picks, because Pikachu's just like really good on all stages. He's just like, take me wherever, I don't care.
Oh wait, I can actually confirm that Icaro was 2-0'd by Mr. L last time they played. So it might be a good thing that matchup's not coming up, because Thitko was 2-0'd by Skull Kid from DePaul.
Oh.
So both these players have been 2-0'd by their opponents respectively. So this could be a very interesting match.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, something that's a little bit spooky, at least for DePaul, is that if Icaro had already lost 0-2 to Mr. L's Pikachu, like it's the same matchup, so we're going to have to see how Thitko's interpretation to the character is able to fare compared to Mr. L. Basically just kind of directly with each other. It's the same character, so it's really just going to be like the player styles and how he's able to make things a little bit different. So we are going to be going back to Town and City. Thitko had struck Battlefield, and the Icaro had struck FD and Smashville. So the final one by Thitko was then PS2. So
gotcha.
So Town and City has a like normalish ledge to blast zones distance. The stage itself is massive, and then it has a very high ceiling in contrast to what it was in Smash 4, where it was Everybody Dies Edition, my favorite. But now it's a little bit bigger. That could be useful for Pikachu, because having all that extra space on the stage just lets him just constantly reset to either neutral or advantageous position, because the moment he gets put into a disadvantageous position, then it's like, oh, okay, I'll just quick attack out of there. And Icaro actually is going to be playing Bayonetta.
I was going to say, I actually, while you were talking, pulled up the VOD from earlier this week to find out who he played, and it is Bayonetta, so that's going to be an interesting matchup, but I still want to initially give this advantage to Pikachu just due to the speed that's really, we're going to see a big speed difference here.
Okay, so, and yeah, so just to add a little bit more to the strategy behind the stage. While Bayo doesn't have like her roof combos from the ground itself, this will make it harder that like if she's able to like get any sort of hit, just the blast zones being so far away is going to make her combos a little bit less potent. This is actually a great start of like striking for Thitko's Pikachu. But you know, with all that said, ooh, you know what? Never mind. I was about to say that Icaro is starting off with a bit of a lead in the damage department, but Thitko was going to promptly shut me up.
Yeah, absolutely. Things looking good here. Thitko obviously taking a little bit more damage and being a little bit lighter could be a bit disastrous. Yeah, great. As I say it, Caster Curse Thitko to the graveyard there. It's going to be the first stock eliminated.
Yeah, taking advantage of the fact that like she can stall in the air, which makes you a little bit antsy because you want to punish her landing, but that's really not what you want to do versus Bayo, because her down air is so strong. And even the down air itself has a built-in little air stall. Anyway, already lapping Thitko in percent. And oh no, don't be throwing out projectiles like that.
Yeah, Icaro just putting on the works right now. This is looking very possibly like a 3-stock. If they can pick up even one more half-decent combo against Thitko, I mean, it could already be over.
Yeah, I mean, Thitko already on his last stock, and Icaro not even at triple digits. Now only finally making it there to 100.
Yeah, and Thitko definitely wants to try to prevent a 3-stock here, because it's really looking like that's going to be possible. And the stage spike confirms it.
Is a 3-stock.
That match was faster. We spent more time waiting for that match than that match right there actually took.
Yeah. All right, so
Icaro just with a clean 3-stock. Playing Smash 4 Bayonetta out here.
So I want to start that over again, because I want to see if he lost his jump. So, okay, so he had the jump there, so he didn't have his jump when he got stage spike. That was techable, right, was the green splash, but he just wasn't ready for something like that. And that's how his last stock went out. And here we're going to see, like, this is where Icaro was able to bait him with the air stalls, just kind of like hovering around. It's like, see, right there, and then he thought he was going to land and was able to stall with the down air, sealing out that first stock. And over here, I mean, this was kind of like, either matchup inexperience or just like lack of awareness in the moment, being like, oh god damn it, I should not have used the projectile there. And the witch time was gonna, that's all they wrote for the last stock.
Yeah, all 3 of those stocks just came from very small mistakes coming from Thitco, and that was pretty disastrous because those ended up costing them a stock each time. It was 3 small mistakes, but each of those mistakes cost an entire stock. And now DePaul, I mean, they're looking even better. They had Bobby Time in the driver's seat. Ikaro's about to take over. I mean, it's just looking very good for them right now, especially after that 3 stock.
Yeah, and now DePaul sitting at 8 points, and that's only after game 1 of set 2. It cannot be emphasized enough about like how heavy a hit things like 3 stocks are, because you just net like the maximum points you can get, and so it's like so many now. Because like if let's say Icaro doesn't win the set now, right? But Thitco gets like 2 1 stocks, right? It's gonna just be like
hardly matters.
He's gonna net 4 versus the 3 that Icaro just got on game 1. You know, it's gonna be like, oh, yeah, you took more points, but not that much more.
Yeah, now they ban FD and Kalos, which is a little bit surprising to me, but not that surprising, as I think, you know, honestly, I don't know. I feel like Pikachu is going to thrive on like PS2 or Battlefield with the platforms. Maybe move around a little bit more.
We're actually just running
back. Yeah, psych. We're just run it back. That one was too fast. They want to make sure it actually happened, and I mean, hopefully it ends a little bit better in Thitco's favor, because that was a bit of a disaster for St. John's.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of a bit of a contrast. Maybe, you know, after Icaro took the L from Mr. L, was like, I need to brush up on my Pikachu matchup, and we were just seeing the fruits of that. So here we go once again, game 2, Town and City, and a little bit of back and forth, no extended strings. Finally gonna get a big hit there for Icaro.
Yeah, things looking very impressive so far. Thitco, at both times, able to pick up a very early combo, but then we don't see them pick up almost anything afterwards. So I think maybe just a slight more bit of aggression and a slight less use of projectiles here against Bayonetta would be pretty valuable overall. And although it's a Pikachu's primal instinct to want to spam that B button while playing Pikachu, it's not necessarily always the best move. And especially up against a Bayonetta who can really take advantage of your projectiles, you want to try to do that as little as possible.
I definitely want to see like more just taking advantage of your small stature and just like incredible movement, you know? Like you can do so much. You can do so much pressure by simply existing in an uncomfortable position for your opponent. But with all that said, you know, Icaro has been pulling ahead with this lead more and more. Pikachu, pretty light character, you know, right now in an edgeguard situation, Icaro in control, misses the runoff nair, but again, we're gonna, and flubs it.
Woo! Looking good though. That was definitely, I thought that stock was well over for Thitco, but somehow able to survive a flubbed witch time there coming out from Icaro. Now 170%. Pikachu, Pikachus don't live to that percent very often, so they're going to be eliminated very early on. Now has 100% after losing their first stock, so taking a stock from Icaro seems much more doable than it did last game.
Yeah, let's see what Icaro was able to do with this lead. Already at 100%, not knocking on death's door, but in the waiting room at the very least. So what Thitco will be able to do to kind of minimize his current deficit, but Icaro's just in control. I'm really trying to play up my man Thitco here, but Icaro.
Yeah, Icaro just has great spacing and great control of the momentum of the match, and that's what it's all about, is keeping that momentum and keeping that control. And now Thitco, I mean, this is shaping up to possibly be another 3 stock. I mean, in that second stock, I think Thitco did 19% to Icaro. That's a disaster.
This is only 20 damage different from the last game where Icaro was in triple digits by the time Thitco was on their last stock, you know? This is looking like a repeat. Please, take a stock. Put one, do it for the team. Put one on the board.
Yeah, because if Thitco doesn't take a stock here, that nets the maximum amount of points, 8 points for Icaro, which is just insane. That'll be the first time I've seen it.
Ooh, and
there it is.
You're gonna.
And I'm gonna. There it is. That's going to be a 2-0 victory for Akaro, netting themselves their first victory in the Vincentian Cup on stream.
Yeah, now with a whopping 13-0 lead for DePaul University. With that second game netting, like you said, the maximum 8 points. That's a big deal. You know, like we saw the last time St. John's and DePaul fought on Wednesday, that DePaul took a really strong lead and St. John's was able to claw their way back. But, I mean, there does come a point, there comes a mathematical impossibility that if the lead gets too large in the beginning, that it won't even matter by the time we get to the end. So St. John's has to really step it up.
And I'm thinking, if we see something like we've seen already, if this third match goes in favor of DePaul, I think it'll already mathematically be over. Just after the 8 points netted from Akaro, I mean, we'd have to see at least 2-3 stocks coming out from St. John's to keep this alive.
You know what? I think you're right. I think if the next person from DePaul wins, okay, so we're gonna see a Lola Mola. Good lord, I'm gonna get bodied by that. Yeah, Alola Mola.
Aloma Mola.
Aloma Mola is coming in for St. John's. Yeah, so if if DePaul wins this third round, even with 2-1 stocks netting a total of 4 points, that'll be at 17 points. And then at that point, it would be locked in. Because 17 points with only 2 people left, even if it was quadruple 3 stocks, and Jay Grunt and Mr. L were to completely sweep, netting 16 points, 16 still less than 17 at that point.
Yeah, truly. And Aloma Mola yet to drop a game on stream in the Vincentian Cup. Beat Mbrock with a 2-0 and beat Cookie with a 2-1. So, you know, one was a little bit closer. The Palutena, definitely a difficult character to play against. And I don't remember who everybody plays, but Cookie on the Palutena was a beast. I remember seeing that the Nair train was insane. So Aloma Mola got a definite run for their money there. But like I said, yet to drop a game on stream. Can they keep that momentum up today?
Yeah, and Amola Mola was definitely like a very powerful force. Like you said, hasn't dropped a game on stream yet. So this could be the turnaround, especially, you know what? If this is the beginning of the turnaround, the last 2 people on St. John's roster is Jay Grunt and Mr. L. So, you know,
arguably they're heavy hitters, they're anchors.
Yeah. So this is going to get interesting real fast because the people remaining on DePaul is going to be Skull Kid, who is coming up next versus Aloma Mola. Then will be also Cookie and Matt Beach. Matt Beach also did a fantastic job with the Mega Man, which I don't think lost either.
Yeah, Matt Beach able to secure 2 2-0 victories over Mr. Saturn, actually, and then Mbrock from Niagara, who, of course, isn't here today. Great Game & Watch player, but Matt Beach on that Mega Man was able to take out both Mr. Saturn and Mbrock, and Cookie as well. I think Cookie actually... Cookie ends up winning their second game against Niagara in a 2-0. Only lost to Aloma Mola by a single stock. It was last hit, last stock scenario when they ended up losing that match to that Joker player. So Cookie, definite chance to keep the heat alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I have to make my predictions, though, I mean, I'd say probably Skull Kid is probably going to win against Aloma Mola. Jay Grunt is going to win against Cookie, but that last match is the one I really don't know.
Yeah, although if Skull Kid is able to win this next set, then
that'll be the nail.
Yeah. Right now, St. John's is a lion in the coffin.
Yeah. They need one more good hit from this hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough if Skull Kid's able to take this, which I think they might. I mean, it's already gonna be over. I think Skull Kid, if I'm not mistaken, only played once on Wednesday against Thitco and 2-0'd. So Skull Kid with an on-stream win in the Vincentian Cup under their belt already. But Aloma Mola, and no offense to our Pikachu players, we love them all, but Aloma Mola on the Joker, a little bit scarier than we've seen from our Pikachu players today.
Yeah, especially when the scary Pikachu's on the same side as the scary Joker. So, ooh. So it looks like, let's see. St. John's getting rid of striking Battlefield and PS2, while DePaul is striking FD and Town. So we are going to be seeing a Smashville Game 1. That's going to be pretty interesting. Do you recall who Skull Kid plays?
I've been thinking about it and I don't. I cannot think of who it is. As soon as I see it, I'm going to be like, oh, of course. But I cannot think of it now. I can remember quite a few, but for whatever reason, Skull Kid's evading me.
Regardless, a small stage like Smashville is always a pretty interesting double-edged sword, because while they can never escape, neither can you. So whoever's able to get their pressure going first can be put into a very good situation. The other thing about it is that the platform is basically almost the same size as the stage itself, which is really can be good for diffusing said pressure. It's a lot of back and forth in this vertical range. So yeah, we're going to be seeing Joker versus Ness. This is going to be a little bit, I feel like it could be a little bit difficult for Ness, just because how hard to catch Joker is. But the fact that we are on a small stage, when Ness gets going, someone stop this boy.
Yeah, for real. When Ness gets going, especially on a map as small as what we're seeing here, you've got nowhere to run. Even if you get out of the combo, you've got to walk right back into it, because that's the only place you can stand on this platform.
Yeah, and right now, Skull Kid, if they win, then they're good. DePaul is kind of mathematically just done with the W. But even then, he could just damage control. Even if he ends up losing, can just minimize and be like, yeah, I'll just make sure you don't earn as many any points. But you know what? Going for that W, taking the first stock, only taking 69 nice %.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Skull Kid definitely taking a little bit % there, but Alomomola obviously taking a lot more. We're about to see almost a pass up in stocks here. Skull Kid, Ness, not necessarily a flashy player. Nobody's excited to play against a Ness, but Ness puts in the work. Yeah. I mean, he's a difficult character to play. He does the damage, and if you don't know the matchup, you're going to lose simply because you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Ness is a very unconventional matchup that you have to play against. You have to change the way you approach characters. He's not the most normal Smash Brothers character, despite being here since 64. You watch this boy float around, and you're just like, what is happening? Please, I just want to make it back to the stage.
Yeah, and Skull Kid looking to find a 3 stock of their own. Obviously going to be much harder against a Joker, but Alomomola last stock, we haven't even heard Arsene's name yet. Things are looking disastrous for this Joker player.
Yeah, every time Arsene has come out, hasn't even had a chance to swing, because it's just oh wow, look, I'm in an edgeguard situation. Oh look, I'm dead. But finally, Alomomola gonna squeak out 1 kill. Still at a stock deficit here.
Yeah, a pretty aggressive one at that. Skull Kid only just now passing 30% with an entire stock remaining under their belt. All the credit here is simply extra credit, and they might find a kill off the back of it. The yo-yo, just a nasty edge guard ability. One of my personal favorites in the game, simply due to the disrespect of being murdered with a yo-yo and what it represents. Alomomola now definitely putting in the work, just trying to find this elimination onto Skull Kid, but I mean, Skull Kid just has the spacing in the air and on the stage, so there's nowhere for this Joker to be other than back in the graveyard.
All right. So just like that, Skull Kid going to be taking game 1 with a 2 stock. This is looking really good for DePaul. They're starting off so strong. Maybe too strong for St. John's to try and catch up. It's going to be a scary position.
Yeah, the first thing that I asked, I think we were still off stream when I found this out, but as soon as I saw Bobby Time was the first player coming out from DePaul, I was like, why? I was like, he's definitely not their weakest player, and that's usually kind of where you put your weakest players up front. You see, if they win or lose, it doesn't necessarily dictate the rest of the matchup. But then Bobby Time shows up, 2 O's. Icaro shows up, 2 O's. Skull Kid shows up, looking like a 2-0. This is a disaster for St. John's.
Yeah. And so now we're seeing the bans coming in from DePaul, which is going to be Lilat and Final Destination.
I hate Lilat. I'm glad it's banned.
Lilat is sick. Get out of here.
No, I don't like it.
But we are going to be going to see Kalos. So I get, this is a stark contrast to what we just saw with the previous stage being Smashville. Large stage, same blast zones as Battlefield, and just a wide open space. It's a pillar stage. Joker, can he wall bounce? I think he might be able to. He's like a ninja character.
Yeah, the only reason I can pick, every time somebody picks Kalos, the first thing I think of is they want less edge guarding, because the platforms make it obviously much more difficult. They make it more difficult to combo immediately off the side of the map, and maybe that's what Alomomola is looking for here. But the issue is, that's not the reason Skull Kid won. While it was helpful, Skull Kid had great control of the map as a whole and great control of the momentum of the fight. They give Alomomola no time to rest and no time to think about what they're doing. They force them to act entirely on instinct, and that is where Skull Kid really gets to take the lead, both in the mental and the physical.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. We're just going to have to see now what Alomomola is going to have to do to deal with all this constant pressure from Skull Kid. Right now, the percentages are pretty even, and Arsene is out right now, so, could be looking at a first kill for Alomomola, but already we're seeing Skull Kid with the edgeguard situation just barely.
Not again.
Oh my god.
Whew, I thought we were about to see an exact frame for frame replay of what we saw earlier, and Skull Kid loves that yo-yo, and I can't blame him. One of few edge guards to grab the ledge and go directly over the corner like that. It is a terrifying thing to be recovering against.
And
Skull Kid able to find Alomomola as well, and things not looking great for Alomomola, but 94% on first stock. There is still time to turn this around.
Yeah, I will say, unfortunately, I do think that Alomomola looks a little bit uncomfortable in the Nest matchup, and
yeah, agreed.
It's just like when it comes to finding those approaches to get the kill. All right, you know what? Never mind. That's actually great because now it's still low percent. They're both now on 2 stock. There wasn't able to big lead, but now on that second stock, Skull Kid right off the bat comes back from the respawn platform, is like, here, have a 600 damage.
Yeah, this is a disaster. Skull Kid loses that first stock, but you can tell they're not even sweating. They're not worried about it at all. Alomomola, 150% on their second stock, which is just about to be flushed down the drain here in a second.
Ooh.
Oh, there it is.
And the normal getup going to get punished by the up smash. It's a really kind of safe option for Nest to go for, and pretty guaranteed, especially if they actually just fall for it. So now we have a full stock lead here for Skull Kid. I think this might be it for St. John's' chances. I don't want to count him out, but oh boy.
We'd need Alomomola to play like we haven't seen anybody from St. John's play today. Arsene comes out below the map, just trying to keep the recovery alive, and it works out there. Now the stock's tied up, or excuse me, the percent tied up a little bit, but the stock difference is still huge. Alomomola, even if they get rid of this stock, they have an entire stock to go. You see Skull Kid coming back with Alomomola finally coming to life. You're able to confirm that stock, but now at an 80% deficit, 91% deficit. Arsene offline. Alomomola now has to single-handedly eliminate Skull Kid, who's still sitting pretty at 0%.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, JV?
Not going to be in that just yet. Cross stage on Kalos. Kalos going to be like, nah, I'm too big for that. But the back air is going to steal it, and you are going to see a JV. JV2 from Skull Kid.
Yeah, JV2 from Skull Kid. The back air comes in clean, takes Alomomola off the map, and if I'm not mistaken, mathematically speaking, DePaul is already our victors.
Yeah, DePaul now sitting at 18 points. Basically, at this point, even if J-Grunt and Mr. L were to do back-to-back 3 stocks, netting 8 points each, it's only 16.
That's 16.
Which
so I mean,
they could
we'd
make
have to
it
assume,
close, but
yeah, we'd have to assume J-Grunt and Mr. L don't drop a single stock or a single match, and then they can. I mean,
yeah,
especially with Mr. L going up against Matt Beach. Matt Beach is in the anchor position here for a reason. That a very, very strong player, and the Mega Man is nasty.
Yeah. Well, so our next match is actually going to be Mr. L next versus Cookie.
Oh.
So they're swapping around. Pikachu versus Palu is a really good matchup for Pika. You know, just Palu, even since Smash 4, has struggled versus small characters, and this is no different. You know, while by no means she doesn't have any options at all, she's going to be struggling. To say the least.
Yeah, no doubt on that. Palutena, like you said, notorious for struggling against those smaller characters, those faster characters, and Now Mr. L coming in on the Pikachu, a very seasoned Pikachu player, somebody that really knows the mechanics, they know the ins and outs. It's going to be something that, you know, I think could very quickly end in Mr. L's favor. But even if it does at this point, I mean, like I said, I think it's statistically over for St. John's.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. DePaul started off so strong on Wednesday versus St. John's, where St. John's was able to claw their way back. So DePaul was like, we're going to double down on this strategy. We're just going to hit much harder. That there's no point. We're going to hit you guys with the 3-0 and salute, and you're out of here. Yeah, we got 2 more sets left, but you know, congratulations to DePaul University.
Yeah, not to say anything live on stream, but GG DePaul, great job, honestly. And St. John's, you know, they've got the players, they've got the potential, but like I mentioned earlier, DePaul's esports program, just absolute powerhouse. Every single game that they're in, they are one of the best teams. It is incredible.
All right, yeah, so we are going to be seeing Pikachu versus Palu. I think we're going to Town and City. My God, everyone's been starting game 1 on Town and City with, like, I think the one exception was Skull Kid versus Alomamola starting on Smashville. Just all Animal Crossing starts.
I love Animal Crossing, so I'm so okay with that.
Never mind, this one is also Smashville.
Regardless. That's all right.
Yeah, just all Animal Crossing. Anyway.
I want to see some Tortimer Island. All right, as we open up, I mean, it's going to be, like we said, I think it's going to be a very quick advantage here for Mr. L. But, you know, that's if Cookie, maybe they've studied the matchup as well. Maybe St. John's, or maybe DePaul knew that this Pikachu matchup was going to be nasty. It was going to be difficult to deal with. Right. But Mr. L with a pretty cheeky combo there, 38%.
Right off the bat, we're already seeing the small stature take in for account, because that whiff on the dash attack is where we saw that string of back airs get its window to start. And yeah, Mr. L starting off with a quick 60 damage, untouched.
Yeah, this is a disaster so far. Things are not looking great for Cookie. And another reason that these smaller characters are harder to hit for Palutena is because Palutena, she's all about that Nair train. And if it's a smaller character, smaller hitboxes, the odds of hitting that are a little bit lower. And we see the damage finally coming through onto Mr. L from Cookie, but they're already 130%.
Yeah, so the thing that's going to be a little, which can work in Cookie's favor, is that Pikachu can be a little bit telegraphed in how he tries to seal out the kill, but that's not going to matter because we're going to see the Trump back air going to take him off the side. And now only taking 40 damage on the first stock, a full stock lead, really right about to lap, and here it comes. Man, we're just back airing for days.
Yeah, Mr. L, oh my God, he's not stopping anytime soon. The back air is just coming out in full swing right now. There's the Thunder. It's going to be phenomenal as well. Does the damage necessary, and it's going to help find Cookie. And something about these St. John's players. No, wait, I'm sorry. That was Cookie. That's the DePaul play. I'm getting a little bit confused after what we've seen today. Something about these players in general. They know there's more than one way to get up off the ledge, right?
So smart. That was so smart. Mr. L did Skull Bash towards the ledge and then held down so he wouldn't grab the ledge. So he was basically hovering there on there with a hitbox, and then when you go for a ledge grab, you're vulnerable for 2 frames. Here in the grassroots team, we just call that a 2-frame. And that's 2 frames of vulnerability, and it just was able to net the stock for Mr. L. Oh my lord. Let's go. Hey, yo! The reflect on the Thunder through, but he was ready for it. Ends up actually teching the stage. I'm not losing this stock. I'm going to make it at least look close in the total scoreboard.
Mr. L knows that it has to be a 3 stock. Mr. L knows that if this stock is lost, that is a mathematical loss for St. John's. Mr. L desperately trying to make this work here. Honestly, only a couple of hits away, but a Pikachu at 120% is not supposed to be alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you're small and fast. He's like, just try and kill me. Just come and get me. What's, having some trouble?
Yeah, Mr. L feels like the embodiment of just come and get me, in all honesty. No, it is a 3 stock! Mr. L keeps the dream alive with a 3 stock on the Cookie.
All right. Fantastic play by Mr. L on that game 1. Just kind of just all over the place, not giving Cookie any time to breathe and just kind of like get that reset just to catch their breath. Just Mr. L is just on him like white on rice that whole time.
Yeah, that was very aggressive. And St. John's, you know, it's already over, but you don't want to walk away with, I mean, with a score that 18-3, 18-4. You want to
look at
as
this.
Mr. L and Jake run. Is this where he does it? I didn't catch it because I was talking about how they all keep doing the same mistake
flying
over and
around.
over.
See, held down
No
the entire time.
way.
Constant hitbox, and it also just to take advantage of the fact that teleport recoveries are especially susceptible for 2 frames, because there are like some strategies you can do to avoid 2-frame situations. Basically, when you go into like a ledge snap animation where it pulls your character up, you've maybe heard like perhaps the term of like magnets, where you just kind of get like sucked to the ledge to grab it. If you're pulled up, that is when you're vulnerable. But if you hold down and you grab the ledge from above it, you actually don't get any of that vulnerability, and you just snap immediate and just keep your invulnerability, which is a really good position. Yeah, so, and teleport recoveries, that's much harder to do, because if you hold down too early, you might teleport down to your death, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, just really great awareness and exploiting some pretty good character knowledge for exploiting weaknesses like that. Really great play by Mr. L. That's not easy to do, especially when the lip is like slanted like that, you know, because like if you undershoot it, you'll just kind of just fly under the stage and then be like, oh look, my edge guard became your edge guard. But regardless, Mr. L going to be taking that game on with a 3 stock. Where are we going? Game 2, going to PS2, and let's see what kind of adjustments Cookie can make, because did Cookie even get a chance to show off any of their skill? I don't think so.
Yeah, PS2 coming out. Now we see Mr. L with the home field advantage like he needed it. And we see Cookie right now. Like you said, are we going to see a moment where Cookie really gets to shine? But Mr. L almost takes himself right off the map with a fast fall there, but able to recover off the back of it. I got to be honest, I tensed a little bit. I was a little nervous for a second, but Cookie right now finding a little bit more consistent damage than we've seen. Can they keep up the momentum, though, and are they going to start getting juggled around again? Because right now, they're actually doing a great job with these combos. This is much better than we saw in Game 1, but you know, this is how it started at the beginning of Game 1 as well.
All right, so got some pretty even percentages. That's already better. And, oh, nice. You know what? Cookie didn't want to swing and, like, was kind of playing it safe from up there because the Thunder could have came out at any point, and the top of the Thunder is a spike, which could have done it. But up. Gotta tech those, or else you're gonna get put into a jab lock situation, which normally can to a kill. And then once again,
there it is again!
We see it again.
There it is again!
Mr. L is so learned in this matchup, and being able to execute those things when they really matter. That's gonna, put it enough to net that first stock once again, and just working on just making this lead as big as he possibly can.
Mr. L has some clips for the highlight reel at this point. Just
absolutely
such a unique understanding of this mechanical coming out of these characters. I've never seen something like that, and Mr. L has done it not once but twice. Just absolute great mechanical skill.
All right, so I do appreciate the fact that Cookie is trying to slow things down. That's what you really need to do, especially when you're fighting fast characters, because you can't out pace them. And by the way, you saw that he went for the Skull Bash setup again, but like I said earlier, he teleported from above that time, and so didn't have to get pulled up and just went straight to it. And you saw that's why it didn't work that time. Just keep an eye out. Anyway, now we have a full stock lead here for Mr. L. It turned into a 2-stock lead. Ooh-wee.
If Mr. L actually drops the double 3 stock, I'm going to lose my mind. And honestly, I will feel so bad off the back of it, because Mr. L must know there is nothing they are able to do here to be able to secure a victory for their team. At this point, they're just trying to make it look a little more even.
They're going to... They might not be able to take the W, but they're going to be taking that MVP award.
Absolutely. If I got to pick an MVP right now, it is Mr. L, just for the incredible mechanical skill that we've seen and just the amazing work we've seen from this player, who's now gonna find a back-to-back 3-stock again.
Yep, there we go. The full net 8 points for J-Grunt. I'm sorry, Mr. L. So, oh my. So 8-18. Yeah, now we're gonna see Jay Grunt versus Matt Beach. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about this set. Like, double 3 stock. Mr. L just did fantastic. So I want to see at like the beginning here. I just want to point out when he got the that jab lock into the forward smash. If he did like a little stutter step backwards to get the forward smash with the tipper, it would have been stronger. I don't know if it would have killed. No, it wouldn't have killed. But that's why he didn't even bother for it. But yeah, just catching the landing with the down smash to seal it out and ending it with a little taunt. You see Pikachu waving. Let's get that. Let's get the slow-mo wave. he knew.
Yeah.
Pikachu's all happy. Pika, there he is.
Yeah, no, definitely a great job from Mr. L. Able to take 6 stocks and not drop a single one. A phenomenal execution of the character as a whole, and of course able to take advantage of that matchup, which is a Herculean task for a Palutena player. So to see Mr. L take advantage of the fact that they have the initial advantage, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Oh my. Even though the points say it's over, these are still extremely entertaining matches. It's just such a good showcase to show how strong these players are from both sides. Like don't let the points fool you. Like everyone on both lineups are monsters in their own right. Just it happened that today DePaul was able to just hit so hard that they were able to clinch it early. But, you can't sleep on anyone on St. John's lineup. So next up is going to be Jay Grunt versus Matt Beach. We have not seen this matchup before of Mega Man versus Greninja. So this should be fun. This should be some fun.
Yeah, no, this is going to be fascinating. Both these characters, both these players are phenomenal. Like I said, Jay Grunt yet to drop a game on stream, and if I'm not mistaken, Matt Beach as well. I don't think either of these players have lost on stream yet, so this is going to be a first for one of them. Jay Grunt able to 2-0 Fiction and Legacy on Wednesday, and Matt Beach able to 2-0 Mr. Saturn and Mbrock on Wednesday. So both these players not only ended up winning both games, they ended up winning 4-0. They didn't lose a single matchup between either of their matches.
Yeah. And something I want to point out is just maybe Jay Grunt is going to be looking to also get a double 3 stock netting 8 points. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it versus a player like
Honestly,
Matt Beach.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I think Jay Grunt can win this matchup, but I think they're just as likely as Matt Beach is. I think this is a clean 50-50.
Yeah. So here we go. Mega Man versus Greninja.
Oh, yes, Greninja. I was sitting here trying to remember who Jay Grunt played. Jay Grunt, of course, the representative of St. John's, is on that Greninja, and Matt Beach on the Mega Man, of course, the representative of DePaul, just in case you're just joining us. And
I guess we're not going here.
It's
okay, guys.
Are these homie stocks?
No, they're doing. Oh, okay, they're doing a button check.
It's a lag test.
Yeah. I must have missed that in the chat. It's fine.
Yeah, I gasped a little bit when Jay Grunt immediately walked off the map. I was like, what is this? Just a little warm-up, a little debate for all y'all at home. We're not actually starting the match yet.
It's always it's always nice to double down and make sure that everything is good, the connections are good, because when normally you try your best to be on LAN, sometimes the switch will be like, I feel like defaulting to Wi-Fi. So you do a lag check. If everything is nice and smooth, then you're good. But if something seems a little choppy, it's like, oh, let me double check my settings just real quick, and we'll be on our way. But yeah, so Matt Beach victorious in the button check. Really just checked those buttons so well, made it to the victory screen. But yeah, so now we should be getting into it now. Yep, they're saying they're good luck, have fun. All right, we're not changing stages. We're just going to PS2. Mega Man versus Greninja. Here we go for the real start. This should be a good finale. This is our last match. This is for Smash Brothers today. This is going to be the winner of the SSBU Vincentian Cup, right? So here we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be it. I mean, things are looking pretty intense right now. We see that, of course, there is that technical win for DePaul online, but that will not take away from this match being a close one at all. We see already it was 14 to 15% there. And now Jay Grunt with the mild advantage, perhaps, due to the speed, but we see Matt Beach can do a great job of using that speed by just simply spamming these projectiles and giving Jay Grunt nowhere to run.
Yeah, especially with the Leaf Shield. It just kind of diffuses all, like, aggression, because he's just like, hey, you can't touch me. I am literally one giant hitbox. And, ooh, gonna get triple down air and then able to reset that into the fast fall to cancel out the last hit, sending him up, and then he wasn't ready for it, so he was able to extend it with a up tilt. And now some pretty big damage, but honestly not too far ahead. Matt Beach just right behind him. Even percent. I would say that I think, who, if at both high percent, has an easier chance to kill? I kind of feel like that might go for Mega Man from a matchup perspective. You know, like, Greninja wants to catch you tripping, but, like, Mega Man is just, like, such an onslaught of projectiles and stuff that it's just, like, it's kind of like inevitability, matter of time sort of thing. You know, it's like, yeah. I'm gonna make you try to dodge this move. I'm gonna catch your jump and hit you with this flame sword that's, like, really strong.
Yeah, I think Mega Man has a little bit more kill potential just as a character consistently. I'm not sure if that's, you know, necessarily something everybody's going to agree with. And Greninja can kill confirm, but I feel like they have to work a little bit harder for it, where Mega Man, just like that, has a lot of moves that are pretty easy kill confirms.
Yeah, so, but now the percentage is getting really up there. Let's see who's able to seal out this first stock. And, you know, kind of what we said earlier, I don't think this is going to be a double 3 stock. These percentages are already so high.
And they're so close as well.
I would be just taken so aback if Jay Grunt's able to 3 stock from, like, 150 the entire time. It's just be like, yeah, you can't touch me. But let's see if that actually happens.
That would be, he would have activated his Ultra Instinct there if Jay Grunt is able to survive all 3 stocks and not drop a single one. That would be very, very impressive. But even just netting a win here for Jay Grunt would be a little bit better, make the score a little bit closer. St. John's, they may not be fighting for that title anymore, but they're still fighting for the glory and the honor against their opponents. Yeah. You see, we talked about it already. This is going to be close, and it very clearly already is. Jay Grunt losing that first stock, but Matt Beach 150%, just waiting to lose their first stock here.
Yeah, and you already saw, like, Greninja landing a kill move, but because it was across the stage on such a massive stage like PS2, almost surviving that one as well, but finally going to see clinch that first stock. Now, even stocks, 30% deficit, that's honestly nothing in this game. So
yeah, honestly, it really is not going to be a huge deficit of time. And as we see Jay Grunt dealing more damage. We see Matt Beach able to bring out a little bit more as well. So Jay Grunt and Matt Beach back into that 1v1 engagement, 48%, and then all of a sudden 21% difference coming out of these two teams. So it's just a lot of damage coming in the blink of an eye, and things are just not working out very well, I'd say, for Jay Grunt pretty consistently. But once they get the opportunity to thrive, that's really when they're able to take advantage of Mega Man's speed.
Yeah, I mean, we just came from an edge guard situation, which was which allowed Jay Grunt to build some extra damage, but it didn't last too long. Back into, like, just center stage tussle, and now we're seeing edge guard from Matt Beach. Mega Man has some very strong edge guard potential, which could result in the stock. You know, just a lot of things you got to be wary for. But, you know, not actually going to push too hard. I guess doesn't want to risk getting reversed too quickly or anything.
Yeah, definitely. We see it's going to be, they're both on their second stock here, and we see it's 132 to 106. Once again, both these characters just taking a lot of damage and really, I mean, utilizing the back of it, but the back throw coming out from Matt Beach, a Mega Man kill move if I've ever seen one. That back throw is terrifying.
Ooh. He went off with a runoff Metal Gear toss, or Metal Blade toss. I feel like he may have wanted to do forward air. That would have killed.
Yeah, I think
that might have been
Matt Beach getting. Yeah, Matt Beach, it looks like they're getting a little bit desperate to find these kill confirms. Like, Greninja at 166%, it should be, you'd think it'd be pretty easy to kill them, but of course, it's always easier said than done. 166 to 133, both these characters really on their last hit.
All right, Matt Beach going to be taking that second stock at 133 damage. So, you know, Jay Grunt definitely has a window of opportunity to, like, even up the percentage, even up the stocks without taking too much percentage.
Yeah, Jagrun's favorite kill
There it
confirm,
is.
something we saw a lot on Wednesday, is to drop off the stage with your opponent and charge that neutral B and try to find them below the stage. And we've seen it hasn't worked out yet, but we saw it worked out quite a few times on Wednesday. Jagrun has looked for that, I think, maybe 2 or 3 times here in this matchup against Matt Beach. Now 29 to 17% last stock coming through for both of these players. It's really still anybody's game.
Yeah. All right, so this last stock, super even percentage. See what's going to happen here. This is still game 1. Like, even though they've had plenty of interactions, they've really struggled to kill each other, and that's why we've seen the percentages go really high up. And because of that, we're entering our last minute. This is still game 1, guys. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
The longest game I've seen was down to the final 12 seconds, and that was just on Wednesday. These two here, looking like they're going to give that a run for its money. Is 60 seconds left on the clock. We're going to need a kill confirm soon, because if they get up to the same percent they've been getting up to on all these other stocks, they're going to have to go into overtime.
Yeah. Luckily, if we hit time, basically the one with the lower percentage, the one who is quote-unquote winning, will be given the W. So right now, Matt Beach, you know, just building this percent lead. If he's not able to steal out the stock, might be able to take the W via time. 30 seconds left on the clock. But now, Jagrun with the edge guard situation, but then the counter kind of put him off stage. Not a great look. And now, 20 seconds.
Now, Jagrun's definitely noticed the timer and is starting to just work to...
Oh!
Way!
Wow.
That was so fast!
That was super fast.
That was a blink and you miss it moment.
Yeah, let's kind of slow it down so we didn't see it in just a blink. Whoo-wee!
Wow, I was just about to start talking about how Jagrun was, you could tell they were intentionally starting to avoid damage more. But right here, they found the read on Matt Beach and just full advantage, the down smash, the down air, excuse me.
So what happened here was he ended up ledge trumping Matt Beach, which forced him off the ledge, and then
sent him downtown.
He did. He jumped from the ledge, so he anticipated that he was going to ledge trump him. So he already buffered input the jump, the ledge jump, and then just did down air. Because once you've jumped from the ledge, that's the quickest you can act from the ledge other than just disconnecting it. And then the down air is what actually made Jagrun kind of rise up a little bit because it has like a bit of an air stall. And that's what started it, put him in the perfect position to land the spike. Because the start of down air is a spike. After that, it's just a regular hitbox.
Now, could Matt Beach have teched that off the side of the stage? He was pretty close to the side of the stage there.
Did he splash?
Was that techable?
He never touched the stage. No, he couldn't touch. He couldn't tech it.
Okay, there was no stage touch. I couldn't tell if he bounced off it or touched it or not.
Tech. And you could see
that would have been.
He went in the
direction.
That would have been
insane.
He went in the direction for the stage, so he was holding left, and just was still not able to get close enough to touch the stage. Incidentally, with the way ledge trumps work in this game, contrast to Smash 4, in Smash 4, ledge trumps put you in the same predictable like area over and over and over again. But in this game, you can actually kind of DI where you're going to go from the ledge trump, and so ended up just being because he ended up holding left is he DI'd it in the wrong direction, which let that connect. But anyway, here we go for game 2. Running it right back to PS2. So let's see what kind of adjustments. Honestly, like it really just went back right down to the wire, like
down to the last 30 seconds of the match.
Yeah, like there were 15 seconds left on the clock when it finally went down. So I can definitely see Matt Beach being like, yeah, all right, if I just switch up that little bit, that little itty bitty bit, I can put it into my favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we see they're already dealing a little bit more damage than they were at the beginning of their last match. And I think both Jagrun and Matt Beach have such a respect for one another that they don't want to get too cocky or afford giving themselves a disadvantage due to their own hubris.
Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty common thing. We already saw a little bit of a preview of that in the previous game, that when the Crash Bomber is on Greninja, because it's a predictable hitbox and when it's going to come out, you can actually just execute which the way Greninjas work is like an AoE. So if if Greninja is close to their opponent, then it'll make him counter the character, and it'll kind of like teleport him to like where he needs to be to hit him, which is interesting.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely a unique ability and one that you don't really see quite the same way coming out from anywhere else. And now we see J-Grunt with a decent lead here in terms of percent, 139 to 69. So definitely a massive lead, and it's going to be a little bit smaller as Matt Peach confirms the damage. But both these characters, I'd say, arguably in their kill zone here, in their kill condition.
Yeah. We've seen both of them like kind of struggle to get the kill. So the fact that J-Grunt has already gone Matt Beach to such a high percent kind of has like more time to try and get the kill, but you don't want to be too obvious with it, because once you start fishing to kill, that's when they're able to just like get that good prediction and seal it out before you even get a chance. So you always got to stay on your toes, and you know, now we're just seeing the percentages begin to even up. Matt Beach turning it around. Who's going to take this first stock? And it is going to be J-Grunt.
Yeah, J-Grunt off the top there, able to find Matt Beach and find an early stock. Now looking for the early percent. Going to be a little bit harder to do than normal, as Greninja danger close to just being one hit from death at all times. One good back throw from Mega Man, I think, might send our Greninja into the kill zone, so definitely needs to be careful with it. But 138%, they've got about 20% extra damage. How much more can they find off the back of it? Not much, as it's going to be an elimination onto J-Grunt there, tying it back up 2-2.
Yeah, the back air going to seal it out. And now 30 damage disparity. Again, not really much of anything at these low percentages. You know, if Matt Beach is able to get a good turn in, start a good stringer combo. But you know what? J-Grunt not going to give him the time and take his turn again and again. Now widening this gap.
Yeah, the gap is widening indeed, but we see the double forward air coming out from Matt Beach, able to rack 27 damage off the back of it there, and now 60% difference. So J-Grunt still has a lead, but how much longer? Because right now Matt Beach is the only one really putting in the damage. We've seen another forward air. Those are coming out quite a lot from Matt Beach, and I don't blame them, as that's a very aggressive move. It really puts the damage on. And it's 103 to 77. So right now, Matt Beach mild disadvantage, but J-Grunt still just tanking this damage.
All right, things are getting pretty close for the second stock. We might be seeing an end. And just like before, 3 minutes on the clock. Like we're seeing a bit of a repeat here in terms of just like length. This is taking a while, and like, you know, they're both kind of struggling to find those kills, and so they live to some really high percentages. Matt Beach keeping center. I like that.
Yeah, now it's really going to be tied up, and I agree. I think Matt Beach keeping center is a good look, and the forward air going to come out quickly. Going to be able to find, J-Grunt off the front there, and it's going to be a great look now, as Matt Beach went from losing by nearly 90% to taking a mild lead here.
Yeah, and that just kind of shows that like Greninja can really struggle to like get that opening, because you kind of need to play a certain amount of mind games, and if they're just not falling for it, like sometimes Greninja can be in a hard point, especially on online. So now, but J-Grunt actually going to be sealing up that last stock. So now once again, one stock apiece. Slight lead here for Matt Beach.
Yeah, and 2 minutes on the clock. These guys really taking it down to the final wire here. Matt Beach playing the best they can, because they lose this match, it's simply going to be over. So right now, just trying to find even this final elimination out of J-Grunt will push them into our first match 3 of the day.
Yeah, we've had 2-0s all day. Wow.
It's been 4 2-0s in a row, and if J-Grunt wins this one, it'll just be 5 2-0s.
I will say, as part of staff, the scheduling thanks you.
We appreciate you guys for giving us such a quick match.
Wash. But it might be looking, like you said, we might be seeing a game 3 for this final set, as Matt Beach has just been putting on the damage and not really taking much of any. Let's see how this can go.
I don't know what's happened. J-Grunt possibly just playing a little bit more defensive than normal, but all of a sudden really stopped putting in the damage. Able to find 32% off that combo there, but at this point, I think you're already too far gone. You're essentially one Mega Man hit away from death at all times, so J-Grunt gonna have to get in to deal the damage, but get out before taking any of their own.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play extremely surgical. Right now, can really only go for landing the hits, but landing some big hits like that up smash, if he lands that again, that will be the stock, and then we'll see just a 2-0. Oh man, Matt is spooked, hanging out in his shield for. Oh, that's it. Okay, never mind.
That was spooked. Matt Beach definitely getting a little bit scared though, and you know, with 9 minutes left until this match is technically supposed to end, we have plenty of time left for this grand finals map, or set 5 map 3.
Yeah, and he just kind of squeaked that one in there, and it looks like Jay Grunt immediately says, "Go back. We're going back to PS2." So we're gonna have an all PS2 set here. Pretty appropriate to make up for the lack of PS2 we saw in the previous sets, because we saw almost none of it.
I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I do love me some PS2. I think it's a great map. I think it's a fun map, especially in the tournament setting, and it's something that I'm not really sure Greninja or Mega Man really get an advantage on this map. I think they're both playing an essential neutral ground.
All right, so now it is 19-9 DePaul University to St. John. You know, the fact that Matt Beach was able to just put one on the board, you know, just adds more insult to the injury. Yeah,
no, it really does, and it's going to be a good look. Hopefully St. John's can keep the momentum, because, you know, you want to make that score look as good as possible, and, you know, at the end of the day, you still lose, but at the end of the day, this is a charity cup to show what being Vincentian is all about, and that's what all these players are here to do. Even with a loss under their belts, St. John's, they still come out, they give it their absolute best, and they're going to fight till the end of the day, same as St. John's. That's exactly what they're here to do.
Put on a good show, a good fight for a good cause, you know? Ooh! And
dang, he has not missed one of those yet.
You see, that's what I was talking about. He went close enough to him that when he countered the crash bomb, it teleported him to quote-unquote counter Mega Man. And just, put him in the right position. See? It puts him right for it. I mean, if he's going to keep going, Ooh, that sent Mega Man pretty high up.
Yeah, Matt Beach, 104%. Oh, full first stock going to be sent down the drain here. So that's going to give Jay Grunt a pretty notable lead. But as soon as I say it, Matt Beach comes in, dumps out 35% there. So suddenly makes that lead a little less scary. But a Greninja only at 80%. That's not kill range.
Yeah, so now, you know, as I've mentioned before, like when these characters struggle to kill, when you have a percent lead, when you have a stock lead and you're still like not at you know what? Never mind. You know, it's just, I guess when it comes down to it and he really needs to do it, he does it. So yeah, getting the Metal Blade to up tilt combo, that is true. It's a little bit hard to land, but when you get it, you get dividends for it, just so much. So able to even up that stock real quick.
Yeah, the stock's coming in very quickly, and it's going to be very intense. It's going to be a very small 10% difference, 4% difference between these two players right now. And once again, we see Jay Grunt trying to play that off stage, and Mega Man can play off stage, but Greninja, I think, does a little bit better, a little more consistent performance out there. But Mega Man, once again, taking center stage and trying to keep the area there, and you know, that's exactly where Jay Grunt really gets to take advantage of the opportunities and really force Matt Beach into that corner, and possibly even off the map.
Yeah, and now things are just closing in. Right now, Jay Grunt is controlling the flow, but a great way to diffuse that control is with a Leaf Shield. Almost landed the final hit of the Lemon. When you do Lemon Jab and you do a jump, it converts to a Nair, and Nair has a strong hitbox to put in an off-gates situation. But we get it anyway, but nothing too much happens.
Yeah, nothing yet. 110 to 113 second stocks online. I mean, this match really could not be any closer. These two really like to take it down to the wire.
Yeah, they really do. But are we going to see? Nope.
Nope, not yet. How about this? Oh!
So what became...
Jay Grunt gets a little too greedy.
Yeah, what became Jay Grunt's advantageous position, Matt Beach went, no, that's mine, actually.
Yeah, Matt Beach has been looking for a down air for a decent while. Finally finds one on the top of Jay Grunt's head.
Yeah, something that can be a little bit confusing is that when Mega Man starts down air, he actually hovers a little bit before the down air launches, which can throw things off. But while all that happened, Jay Grunt was able to seal out the second stock. So once again, you know, last stock, slight percent lead for Matt Beach, but nothing too concrete. 3 minutes on the clock. These guys really go for the marathon.
Yeah, they really do. And if we've seen anything from these two players, it's that 60% at the end of the day really does not mean much, because we've seen both of them turn it around from larger than a 60% deficit. So Jay Grunt may be down, but they're definitely not out right now.
Yeah, especially from what we saw from game 1, where just kind of snuck in that kill with that ledge trunk.
Yeah, now trying to rack in the damage once again, taking that from a 60% lead to only maybe a little more than 20-40% now. So able to lower it just a little bit, but Jay Grunt, every hit counts at this point. If you can get this Mega Man up to maybe 80-90% even, now it's 75, and this is perfect. Jay Grunt able to put themselves back into that tied up position. Not a lead quite yet, but still a very good position to be.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
Jay Grunt.
That was Matt Beach's Achilles heel. Jay Grunt found that and absolutely took advantage of that.
All right, and with that, Jay Grunt takes the set 2-1 with a 1 stock on that final game, netting 5 points total for their school, St. John's University. That's going to put St. John's at 12, making the final score St. John's 12 to DePaul's 19. Really good show. St. John's was able to close the gap as much as they could, and honestly made some pretty good ground for it. With the fantastic showing with Mr. L netting an entire 8 points, and Jay Grunt also winning their set as well. Yeah, able to put some serious numbers back on the board. However, by the third set, it wasn't enough. DePaul hit too hard in those first 3 games, just so much. The fact that Icaro in the second set was able to net the full 8 points with the double 3 stock on Thitco.
And with that, my friends, that is going to be the end of the Vincentian Cup Smash Ultimate Division. That's going to end in favor of DePaul University. They're able to take that final matchup, and they're able to win over St. John's University. And while that does bring our time here for Smash Brothers to an end, we will be back in just a couple of minutes with Overwatch.
Wait,
I will be back.
We still got an interview that we got to do.
Oh, right. I forgot about the interview. I'm in such a rush to get to Overwatch that I did forget about the interview. We do need to do that as well.
No problem. So I'm trying to find out who the interviewee shall be. I think it might end up being Matt Beach, because I know that they're the captain of their team for DePaul. But just got to wait to hear from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're waiting, this is a great time to talk about. Everybody definitely stick around. The Vincentian Cup may be over for the Smash Ultimate Division, but it is by no means over yet today. After this, coming up, we have Overwatch, which I will also be casting, and then after that, we have Rocket League, which I will also be casting, and then after that, there is League of Legends, which I know nothing about, so I will not be casting. But definitely stick around, because I'm going to be here all day. I'd love to see you guys consistently in chat. And
let's just take this time to kind of talk about the Vincentian Cup. This is for charity, for relief funds for all the struggles that people may be going through during the pandemic, I'm sure. And
if you type !donate in chat, it'll take you to the website, and we have a couple of videos that'll be played throughout the day today to explain what it is. So definitely keep an eye out for those as well.
Trying to figure out who is the interviewee just yet. Oh, let's see. Okay, so yeah, it is going to be Matt Beach. He's going to be entering, the waiting room, and then I'll pull him in once he's ready. Hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, this was a really fun, fun outcome. And yeah, there he is. So without further ado, hey Matt, how you doing?
Doing well. Can you guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
All right, sweet.
So Matt Beach, I definitely want to ask, you guys are still able to come out on top today with a pretty aggressive lead, but your matchup with Jay Grunt today, you guys really took it down to the wire. Are you unfamiliar with the matchup, or was that simply out of respect for Jay Grunt as a player, or do you guys think you were just so neck and neck in your skill level that really did require that much time?
I think it was definitely a little bit of me not having as much familiarity, especially on Wi-Fi, and yeah, also just like respect for the player, because obviously I've seen Jacob play against like our team and against other teams before.
Right.
So I know that he's like a really solid player, even like if it's on Wi-Fi, like he'll still get like all these like nasty tech chases, he'll get these hard reads. And he has ugly setups, as I've been hit by at least like.
Yeah, that counter. To
So yeah, that's kind of like my that's kind of like just how I play the game. Like if I know that like if I know that the person I'm playing against knows what they're doing, and if I'm not confident in me going for an aggressive play, I'm just gonna go passive. Like I'll just be like, you know what, whatever. I have lemons as Mega Man. They're really yeah, it's like they're really good against characters that have like horizontal projectiles like Greninja. So it's like, all right, I'll just go with this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'll just, wait for him to approach, and then I'll punish him.
So one question.
That's kind of why it was so slow paced.
Yeah, definitely.
One question I have in terms of like the strategy for your guys' lineup, because when DePaul fought St. John's on Wednesday, you guys also started off really strong, and they were able to claw their way back. I noticed that this time you had a pretty similar layout where just like, we hit hard, let's just hit harder. Was that like a bit of like the strategy behind the lineup in the order?
To an extent, yeah. Like we really wanted to make sure it's just like, okay, if we know that St. John's has players that are very, very capable of just like bringing a comeback from literally anything, we need to make sure that we just like either we stop the comeback if it does get to that point, like as much as we can, or yeah, we just go in as hard, like hitting as hard as possible, make sure we can just build up like a really, really good foundation of a lead, so that like, there's a little bit more room for error. There's not as much like pressure on us as players to be like, okay, I'm playing against a really, really strong player, and I have to make sure I not only win, but I two-stock, all these like other things. Like making sure that we have that really strong like foundation and points made it so that like, there's not as much player on our back end. So
yeah,
I think it worked for the most part.
You guys really went off guns a-blazing, starting off with Bobby Time with such a strong like 2-stock and 1-stock, and then the double 3-stock by Akara. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty. That was fantastic.
Well, Carl's very, very happy to hear that you guys approve of
I'm never too eager to watch a Bayonetta play, to be honest, but Akaro put on an absolute show today.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to abuse. I think he's really good at just like abusing the fact that a lot of people get kind of annoyed with Bayonetta. It's just like, oh, there's all these
absolutely.
I got an SDI, I got to worry about all this, and so
absolutely
he treats like his mix-ups. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are gonna have to cut this interview a bit short, as we have to get overtime, or we have to get Overwatch online on time. So we are gonna have to call it. Thank you so much for joining us, and extend our congratulations to your team. You guys have won the Smash Ultimate Division of the Vincentian Cup. So congratulations to DePaul for that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This has been a great time. It's been a lot of fun for us all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic
Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a good one.
And with that, everyone, I can actually end the stream this time. I forgot about the interview. But if you want to keep up on what's going on, I will be here all day long. If you want to follow me on Twitter and talk about anything that happened today, of course, it's the same name. I'd love to talk to you guys more and interact. I just can't do that while streaming. So I would appreciate if I got to talk to you guys a little bit more outside the stream. And thank you so much to Devin today, who not only was producing, but was my co-caster due to some technical issues with a couple other folks. We had to pull him in last minute, and he did a phenomenal job. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, no problem. If you did enjoy my commentary or the production, you can follow me at Devin3000 on Twitter, or at House3000 on Twitter. Honestly, the second one more preferred. But yeah, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed Smash Brothers. I'm sure that Overwatch, Rocket League, and League are all still going to be just complete slobber knocker knockouts. It's going to be a real fun time. So stay tuned. That's going to get all set up. And Septa's going to be sticking with you, but I'll be seeing you.
I'll be here all day.
Yeah, I'll see you guys some other time.
All right. And with that, my friends, thank you so much again for joining us. This will be Septalins and Devin3000 signing off. I'll see you in just a bit.
Have a good one.